General Secretary of the greatest party in Ghana. The man doesn't need any introduction. That makes the job easy. Honorable Johnson Asiedu Nketia.
Choboy. Your Excellency, for the sake of time, let me also stand on the protocols earlier established by the first speakers and proceed straight to give some brief remarks. For those of you who think that I'm going to give a fiery revolutionary speech today, you may feel disappointed. I just don't want to dilute the very excellent presentations that have been made by Comrade Zaneto and Nilante Van der Poy. I'll dedicate just 5 minutes to correcting some bits and pieces of misinformation that is doing the rounds, and that is preventing this nation from finding solutions to the current impasse in Parliament. Those who have been following what is happening in Parliament, if you have the eyes to see, you realize that things are not going on well at all. And what is happening there is threatening the very foundations of our democracy. To make matters worse, those who get up and want to contribute towards the solutions are themselves using wrong pieces of information to do their analysis, and so therefore they are arriving at wrong conclusions. And you and I know that if you have headache and you go and take medication for diarrhea, you cannot solve that headache. This problem started on 7th of January this year. After Alban Bagbin had been elected Speaker of Parliament, amid some controversy, MPP leadership came to Parliament, met the two sides of Parliament, and pleaded with NDC to allow them to select the first Deputy Speaker. Nilante, where is he? Am I lying? They actually came and begged us to allow them to select a first Deputy Speaker. The reason being that they will be in government and the first Deputy Speaker will be chairing Appointments Committee. And they are very scared that if that Appointment Committee is chaired by a member of NDC, they may have problems. We insisted that let's go and vote. If you win first Deputy Speaker, we will take second Deputy Speaker. They persisted in begging and begging and begging. And in the end, word was sent from the presidency that they are also begging, that visiting heads of states are waiting to swear in our president. So they are appealing to our democratic instincts our nationalistic instincts to allow some consensus to emerge as to how we select first and second deputy speakers. We agreed and said, you take the first deputy speaker. We will take the second deputy speaker. Immediately we agreed. They came back asking that we should allow the independent candidate to also take the second deputy speaker. We told them this independent candidate is an MPP person. And we should not allow the two positions to come from the same party. It is black and white in the Constitution. Still, they persisted and virtually begged us that we don't want to disgrace Ghana. And that even as we were negotiating, there was no precedent. So anything at all could happen to our republic. NDC does not want this republic destroyed. So we agreed. Immediately we agreed. The first statement coming from the mouth of the Osei Chairman Sabunsu after the swearing in was that we begged them and that there was no voting in Parliament to elect a Speaker of Parliament. And that they agreed to make Bagbe the Speaker of Parliament, and that in 2 weeks' time, Bagbe will be removed. Listen carefully, those of you who are accusing NDC of not being interested in negotiations, listen carefully. As if that was not enough. Immediately, the second deputy speaker also addressed the press and declared his support for the MPP. So what does it mean? They have used trickery to take the two deputy speakers. And we say, fine, you take it. We'll meet you somewhere. Then they took the two. Now the position we have in Parliament, the situation we have in Parliament is that anybody presiding over proceedings cannot vote. So anytime Speaker Bagbe is absent, it is one of their 138 who should preside. And if one of them presides, then we are 137 against 137. And the law in Parliament is that when there is a split, then that motion is lost. So any day that Bagbe is absent from Parliament, if we so choose, MPP can never win any motion on the floor of Parliament. What is happening in Parliament now? Have you heard any NDC MP saying that they won't allow MPP people to vote for the e-levy? We haven't said that. What we are saying is that we are against e-levy. So none of our MPs will vote in support of e-levy. You claim you are in majority. Use your majority to pass your e-levy and proceed to implement it. But you see, they want to eat their cake and have it. You want to win, and you don't have the numbers to win. And you are not modest enough to talk to our members of Parliament. And even if you choose to talk, you have displayed so much bad faith. Just the example I have enumerated. You have displayed so much bad faith that no MP in NDC now trusts the leadership of MPP in Parliament. So anybody in government who is interested in doing something about this problem must investigate the causes of the problem first. You wanted 2 deputies. We have given them to you. If you don't want them any longer, and you want to reduce your the NDC numbers, let the first deputy speaker resign. We'll be pleased to take that position up, and then any time the first deputy is presiding, you have your 137 and we will have 136. And then we can make progress. You don't want any of the deputies to resign. You want the person to enjoy the power and privileges of deputy speaker and yet descend there to participate in voting. That is not on. So please, the blame game that is happening, that NDC is the cause of the problem. I want to use this platform to state categorically that the problem has nothing to do with NDC. We are merely exercising our democratic rights. And we are not preventing them to exercise their democratic right as well. So they should proceed to exercise their own democratic rights. But what we hate and will not allow to happen is the subversion of the laws and constitution of this country just to make sure MPP gets what they want. Those who are scared about what is happening in Parliament, they should have been scared when the same thing was happening in the district assemblies, when the DCs were being approved. What happens in Parliament happened in all the districts throughout Ghana. Didn't it happen? And if you are comfortable with that, why do you think that it will not grow? If people did not resist at the district assembly levels, we are now ready to resist. Because we believe that whenever impunity becomes law, resistance becomes a duty. And so anybody who is interested in the sustenance of this constitution, you are bound by our national anthem to resist when the constitution is being subverted. And that is why our MPs are resisting. Those who are scared about the methods of resistance, the solution is not to be blaming the victim. Blame the perpetrator. Blame the oppressor. And when the oppressor abandons their ways, there will be no need for resistance at all. But if they persist, that they are not listening to anybody, but they want to subvert the constitution to get what they want, what is happening in Parliament today will be chicken feed. Bigger things will happen. And it will continue to happen until everybody learns sense that we are all committed to defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And so long as they don't stop subverting the Constitution, we will continue using every legitimate means. In this particular occasion, those who are accusing NDC MPs or other MPs of fighting in Parliament, how many of them have suggested any better means of preventing the subversion of the Constitution? What other alternative have they put forward? The person says that I am the referee. I have awarded penalty. And I'm the person who is going to kick and score. And when he scores, then it becomes a goal. Then you have lost. would you allow such a person to go, the referee to go and kick the ball into the goalpost? We will not. And if it means the use of force to prevent the wrong things from happening, we are prepared to continue. Because our leaders chose to apply the law. When the speaker, the deputy speaker, did the wrong thing, they used the law to appeal against his ruling. In Parliament, he has to take the decision whether he will allow the appeal. And he rejected the appeal. So there is no other option. So those who are interested in peace, tell the perpetrators to stop. Otherwise, the reaction will continue. Thank you very much, and may God bless our homeland.